right, well, she's not here, but she's decided to be there for today. She might end up over and back behind the couch. I don't know what she's doing. I think she's just feeling a sense of the chair. Yesterday I told you that the chapter was called Yell Raff Rose. I don't even know what to think of that one. That's kind of a goofy chapter. Maybe you've put some thought into it and thought, oh, maybe it's another family member. Maybe Eudora has the baby, and that's the name of the baby. Yell Raff Rose. Let's find out. Chapter 15, one more chapter after this, and then it's it, Charlotte. That's it. But I have another book up my sleeve. I hope you like it. But it's definitely different than any of the Fudge books that we've read so far. So let's start with chapter 15. It was so great to have the apartment back to ourselves. In fact, it felt huge. It felt peaceful. Whoever thought life with my family could ever feel peaceful? No wait to use the bathroom, no more hot dogs and rolls lined up on the living room floor. With the Howies staying in the Chen's apartment, I'd hardly ever have to even see them. Not only that, but the natural beauties aren't even going to my school. They're taking dance classes and voice classes and drama classes all day, every day. Yes, I thought, I have my life back. Dad proposed we celebrate our own small family by having dinner at Isola's, our favorite neighborhood restaurant. And as soon as we walked in, I noticed Courtney, the girl from my humanities class. She was with her family. Hi, Peter. She said, hi, Courtney. Where are the Heavenly? She asked. I hope they're coming back to school soon. They are so cool. They're not coming back to school. Oh, that is so disappointing. I shrugged. Then tell them Courtney from Humanities says hi. I'll do that. As I walked away, I heard Courtney telling her parents, that was Peter Hatcher.
So happy, but you know, there's days where we want to pull each other's hair.
As I walked away, I heard Courtney telling her parents, that's Peter Hatcher. He's related to the Heavenly Hatchers. He's so lucky. As soon as I sat down at our table, Fudge asked, is that your new girlfriend, Pete? No, that's not my girlfriend, I told him. I don't have a girlfriend, and even if I did, I wouldn't tell you about her. Don't worry, Pete. Someday you'll find one. I'm not worried, because you're not that ugly. Would somebody turn him off, I said to my parents. That's enough, Fudge, Mom said. Tootsie banged on the table with her spoon. New foo! Then she threw the spoon. It just missed the waiter who was bringing us a basket of bread. Fudge helped himself to a piece, pushed out the middle, and stuffed it into his mouth. Mom handed his crust to Tootsie. Guess who came to mixed group today? Fudge asked, with his mouth so full he could even hardly talk. Rumpelstiltskin, I said. Fudge laughed. Don't laugh with food in your mouth, I told him. Why not? Mom and I answered at the same time. Because it's disgusting, Mom said. Because you could choke. It was the stranger danger policeman, Fudge said, after he'd chewed and swallowed. He showed us a video, and then we all got secret code names. Only our family can know our secret code name. Want to hear mine? He motioned for us to come closer. I have to whisper so that no one else can hear. We leaned in. It's Egnuff Muriel, Fudge told us. Isn't that a good code name? Egnuff, I said. What kind of name is that? Shh, Fudge said. Then he whispered back, it's Fudge spelled backwards. Oh, yeah, Fudge spelled backwards. Very clever. What about the Muriel part, Mom asked. That's how you get your code name, Fudge explained. You spell your first name backwards, and you use your grandma's first name for your last name. Suppose you have more than one grandma, I asked. Peter, Dad said, let's not make this more complicated than it already is. Yeah, okay, I said, but I don't get the point of this secret code name. It's in case someone tries to steal me, Pete. Steal you? I asked. Who'd want to steal him? Yeah, Pete, like some stranger comes up and says, your mom's in the hospital and I'm supposed to take you to her. Mom said, I never want you to go with anyone who's a stranger, no matter what. I know, Fudge said. I don't talk to strangers, I don't get in cars with strangers, and I don't help strangers find their puppies. So there. That's exactly right, Mom told him, and she took a long drink of water. But just in case, Fudge said, it's good to have a code name. So if a stranger does come up to me and says, please help me find my puppy, I can say, what's my code name? And if he doesn't know, I don't go with him. That got Mom really upset. Fudge, listen carefully, she said. It doesn't matter what a stranger says. It doesn't matter if a stranger is a man or a woman or a teenager. If a stranger tries to talk to you, you shout, I don't talk to strangers, and then you run as fast as you can until you find someone you can trust, a policeman or a teacher or a... Dog? Fudge asked. Woof, woof. Not a dog, Mom told him. How could a dog help you? That was a joke, Mom, Fudge said. Mom turned to Dad. I think I better have a talk with William and find out a little bit more about what this is all about. I already told you, Mom. It's stranger danger, Fudge said. A few days before Halloween, the elevator in our building was being converted to self-service. We've known for months that this was going to happen. On the inside, the elevator will still look the same with a mirrored wall and an upholstered bench. Remember we talked about that bench? Mine was kind of like a crushed velvet. I think Joe's was the same way, that we would sit down with the little buttons on it. But now, instead of Henry running it, all you have to do is push a button to get on the floor that you want to go to. Henry said he's looking forward to his new job as super of our building. The best thing about the new elevator is the tiny video camera. It's supposed to be for security or stranger danger, as Fudge said. This way, nobody can get into our elevator without Henry knowing about it. He can watch what's happening on the monitor in our lobby, and anyone else who's interested, well, they can watch too. At first, everyone in the building stopped to have a look. There's Mrs. Tubman putting on her lipstick. Isn't that Mr. Perez tying his running shoes? Ooh, the Rileys are kissing. Hey, Gina Golden's adjusting her underwear. It was like candid camera. Soon everyone wised up to the fact that they could be seen on the monitor. After that, the Rileys just held hands but didn't kiss, and most people stopped checking themselves out in the mirror. Except, you know who, Fudge. The minute he realized he could be seen on video, he started jumping up and down, waving his arms and making stupid faces, usually with his tongue hanging out. Henry called a meeting for the kids in the building, especially since Halloween was coming. The trick-or-treat sign-up sheet is already posted in the elevator. That's one great thing about living in a high-rise in New York City. You never have to leave your building to go trick-or-treating. Not that I'll be trick-or-treating this year. Or anymore. No, my trick-or-treating days are over. It makes me feel kind of funny to think that I'm too old for trick-or-treating. Reminds me of how I felt when I had my first double-digit birthday, 10. I kept saying that to myself. I'll be in double digits for the rest of my life unless I live to be over 100. Yeah, that'd be cool. I'd get into triple-digit birthdays. Olivia Osterman might make it, and if she does, and if I ever get another dog, I'll name him George or Rufus in her honor. At the kids' meeting, Henry reminded us of the video is for our security and not for our entertainment, and he looked directly at Fudge. He demonstrated how to use the door open and the door close buttons. He asked us to close our eyes and feel the numbers and symbols on the buttons. They were all in Braille, so people who were blind like Mr. Willard can still use the elevator on his own. Henry said anyone who pushes buttons just for fun will lose their elevator privileges. He showed us how we could talk to him and he could talk to us in case there was an incident. When they push all the buttons, you know what movie that makes me think of? Elf. When he gets in there and he lights it all up like a Christmas tree, that's the first thing that my mind thinks of. What's an incident? Fudge asked. Anything that's not supposed to happen in the elevator, Henry said. What's not supposed to happen? Let me put it this way, Fudge. The only thing that's supposed to happen in the elevator is you push the button for the floor you want, the elevator takes you there, and you get out. Same as when I was running the elevator for you. Then he tested all the kids under 12. If you passed Henry's test, you were allowed to use the elevator on your own. If you didn't, too bad. You'd have to take it again. Fudge passed on the very first try. Does Minnie have a code name? Fudge asked Eudora. We were in the elevator on Saturday morning. Eudora was on her way to the park with Fudge and Minnie. I was meeting Jimmy at the subway station. He was coming up to spend the day with me. What kind of a code name? Eudora asked Fudge. You know, Fudge said. A code name. So nobody can steal him. Steal him, Eudora said. Yes. Farley knows he's not supposed to talk to strangers, Eudora said. Only Eudora and Howie still call Minnie Farley. Yes, but does he know if a stranger asks him to help find a puppy, he should run the other way, yell as loud as he can, and tell a good grown-up? Eudora grabbed Minnie's hand. Right now, I don't let him out of my sight when we're on the street. She was quiet for a minute, and then she asked Fudge if he had a code name. Fudge nodded. A secret code name that only the family knows. Want to hear it? Well, yes. I guess since I'm family, I should know. It's Egnuff Muriel, Fudge whispered. What an unusual name, Eudora said. Isn't that an unusual name, Farley? Egnuff, Minnie said. Shh, Fudge warned him. Never say it out loud. Egnuff, Minnie whispered. That's better, Fudge said. In case you want to know what it means, it's Fudge spelled backwards. Eudora was quiet for a minute, and then she said, Yelrath. Ah. What? Fudge asked. Yelrath, Eudora repeated. That's Farley spelled backwards. Now he needs a last name. Do you have a mother? He asked Eudora. I did, but she died a few years ago. Her name was Rose. You got that, Minnie? Fudge said. Your code name is Yelrath Rose, but it's a secret, so don't tell anyone. I think Minnie's too young to get it, I told Fudge. You're never too young for a code name, Pete, and never too old either. You better start working on yours if you're going to take the subway by yourself. Thanks for the advice, Fudge. Better safe than sorry. That's what Grandma always says. Not that I'd admit it to Fudge, but all this talk about code names got me thinking maybe I should have one too. Let's see. I spelled my name backwards in my head. Reditip. Then I threw in my middle name, spelled backwards just to make it more interesting. Nera. Then I added Grandma's name, Muriel. That made me Reditip, Nera, Muriel. Good name, but who should I tell? Not Fudge. He'd broadcast it to the world. Jimmy? I don't think so. He might laugh. I still couldn't figure out how having a code name would help me if I were met up with trouble on the subway or, well, any place else. As soon as the Howies were settled in the Chen's apartment, Eudora invited us down to dinner. Do I have to go? I asked Mom. Yes. Can't you tell them that I have a stomachache or something? No. Can I go home the second I'm done eating because I have a lot of homework? You can go home as soon as the table is cleared, Mom said, as long as you're polite about it. I'll be very polite. You wouldn't believe how polite I can be when I want to be polite. I'll be so polite. Okay, Peter, Mom said, I get your point. At the dinner table, the talk turned to Halloween. Fudge said, Minnie can trick-or-treat with me. We're taking him, Flora said. We've always been curious about Halloween, Fauna said. What's all this talk about Halloween? Howie asked. You know how I feel about candy. We don't care about the... Fauna began. Candy, Flora said. We're interested in the cultural